And we are back with the next segment of the fourth segment of the GSMC Basketball Podcast presented by the GSMC Sports Network. And in this segment, we are going to be talking about the Summer League and their games, and also a little bit of an update on, fantastic, this is having some issues yet again. Ugh. This is just not my day. It's really just not my day. Okay, there we go. Now it wants to finally do a thing. All right, anyways. So, the Summer League. Now, the reason why I have Alexander Sarr up on this image is, in case you guys don't remember, he is the second overall pick in the entirety of the NBA draft, and he hasn't really gotten that much attention. In fact, the only attention that he's gotten is that over the past 2 games, he's only been able to hit 1 shot. You heard that right. The past 2 games, he's only been able to hit 1 shot. Now, you guys remember that I talked about Alexander Sarr. He went 0 for 15 in his first ever Summer League game, right? Well, in this game, he went 1 for 6, which is horrible, considering that he is the second overall pick in the entire NBA draft. Now, really, I'm very surprised that this is what happens in the Summer League. Everyone was so quick to talk trash about Bronny. Everyone was so quick to say how Bronny was horrible, how bad he was, how he couldn't shoot, how he couldn't do this. And now here we have the second overall pick in the NBA draft playing worse than Bronny. When are people going to realize that the Summer League, that this has nothing to do with the regular season, and that these guys are rookies and they're going to have bad games? That's just what's going to happen. What I don't understand, however, is how they're not making as big of a deal with the second overall pick in the entire draft playing this bad. But Bronny, yes, everyone's going to make a big deal out of it. It doesn't make any sense to me. There was so much criticism on Bronny, and Bronny's actually been playing a lot better in the recent games. When he was playing on Thursday, I believe, he was playing on Thursday, he ended the game 5 for 10 from the field and 13 points. You see? It's as if these players get better over time. I don't get it. People immediately think that if you play bad, you can't get better. I don't understand people's logic sometimes. And I also don't understand just the logic of, why the Summer League matters so much. Everyone's already quick to calling out, there are people that are so quick to calling Alexander Sarr a bust. There are people that were quick to calling Bronny James a bust. It's the Summer League. These games, they're supposed to be harmless. This is the time where you make the mistakes and you try to improve as the season goes on. That's the only thing that makes sense. But for some reason, everyone loves to jump the gun immediately. Does everyone forget that Victor Wembanyama was supposed to be a bust after 1 game in the Summer League? Everyone thought that Victor was going to be a bust in the Summer League. Everyone thought that Victor was going to be a bust after 1 game in the Summer League. Just 1 game. It only took 1 game, and there were so many people in the comments that was just oh, he's going to be a bust. Oh, he's going to be horrible. Oh, there are so many other players in the draft that were better than him. Where are those guys now? Every single one of those guys was proven wrong, and Victor has been, proving everyone that he is going to be the face of this entire league and that he is going to be a huge problem because he is 7'4". Now, really, that's all I wanted to talk about with Alexander Sarr, right? But that's not going to be the end of the segment. I'm going to recap the rest of the Summer League games that ended up happening on Thursday because there was a lot of them. Again, so the Timberwolves, they ended up playing the Houston Rockets, and they ended up beating them. Miller ended up scoring 21 points, getting 11 rebounds, and also recording 5 steals. Now, Reed Shepherd for the Houston Rockets arguably one of the best picks in the entire draft, ended up scoring 20 points and 7 assists. The Clippers, they have yet to lose a single game in the Summer League, and they beat the Utah Jazz 105-88. Now, Brown for the Clippers ended up getting 22 points and 6 assists. Collier for the Utah Jazz ended up getting 20 points. Now, for the Lakers, obviously I mentioned Bronny and his performance, but the best player for the Lakers was actually Castleton. Again, another pretty good pick. He is the center, and he ended up getting 12 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists. Now, the other draft pick that the Lakers used was on Dalton Knecht, and he ended up scoring 20 points and was 2 for 6 from 3 and 7 for 16 from the field. But, 20 points. He also has one of the coolest nicknames in the NBA, Knecht 4. Like, that is just top tier nickname right there. That is crazy, right? And the Cavs, the best player for the Cavs was Tyson, ended up recording 21 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 assists, nearly getting a triple-double, but, just was a little bit shy of recording that. Next, the Brooklyn Nets, they ended up playing against the Orlando Magic. Now, the Nets, they won just by 2 points. The score was 102-100, and the best player for the Nets was Wilson. Now, he ended up scoring 33 points. Like, he was a monster. 33 points and 10 rebounds. And he didn't really pass the ball that much, but then again, when you're scoring as well as he was, I wouldn't pass the ball either. And for the Orlando Magic, the best player for the Magic was Maledon, and he ended up scoring 20 points and also recorded 6 assists. Now, the Wizards, I already talked about Alexander Czar being absolutely horrible in this game, and literally just making only 1 shot in 2 games is gross. Like, people wanted to talk trash about Bronny. The number 2 overall pick is playing way worse. Just think about that. Then, the best player for Washington, they still ended up winning 73-69, and Bernard ended up scoring 20 points for Washington, and Jones ended up scoring 11 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists for the Sacramento Kings. Mouth hurts. Jesus, I apologize for that. But also, off the bench, Ellis for the Kings ended up scoring 15 points. He was the leading scorer for the Kings, but, they ended up losing, so that's just unfortunate for him. Now, the Grizzlies, another team that remains undefeated in the Summer League. Now, they ended up winning 88-77. The Pelicans, they remain defeated in the Summer League, so they haven't won a single game yet. Ford for the Pelicans ended up scoring 16 points. And for the Grizzlies, Scottie Pippen Jr., again with a great performance, 17 points, 6 rebounds, and 11 assists. So, fantastic performance coming in from him. And then the final game for the Summer League, the Nuggets, they ended up playing the Pacers. They ended up getting their first win against the Pacers. They won 86-71. Tyson ended up scoring 23 points. And Walker for the Pacers ended up scoring 13 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. Now, they only show their last names on the box scores. That's the only reason why I'm bringing up their last names. So if you're interested in their game, go ahead and figure out who they are. Me personally, I'm more interested in, I want to see if Scottie Pippen Jr. is going to be better than his father. I'm also, obviously Knecht 4, that's another one. But Reed Shepherd, I think he's I wouldn't call him a sleeper now that I think about it, because a lot of people also think he's pretty good. But he's been playing phenomenally for the Rockets. Again, just the Summer League, so there's no telling how it'll translate in the rest of the NBA. But I'll go ahead. I'll give my rankings for, the best picks in the draft just after. Maybe I'm thinking of doing it either after the Summer League or in the middle of the Summer League. Just one or the other. Not entirely sure. So with that, we are out of time for this 4th segment. So now I will go ahead and go into the 5th segment, where I explain the second apron because I didn't really do a segment that sort of explains it, and I feel like maybe there's some people that are a little bit confused about how the second apron works. I only explained it like for a few seconds, so I'm just going to do a better job and have a whole segment dedicated to it. So be sure to tune in after this short break.